Hey everyone! Welcome to the
We're live.
The Hour Ahead show.
Yeah,
Because
spring
time
forward.
Change.
Spring forward.
Assuming time change is applicable in your province or country
forward.
or territory.
Hey, nice hat you're wearing.
Hey, thank you!
Yeah, nice hat, nice hat. I'm wearing my hat too. I'm wearing my hat too. Hey,
hat
this
day,
is
apparently.
actually a live show today too, right? It's not recorded.
I know!
Last week was recorded because you and I were really busy. We're going to talk about that, right?
Yes, we
Yeah, we're
are.
gonna talk about that.
Let's get straight into it.
Hey, I'm just looking at your laptop there. Is that Peppa? Is it Peppa?
Yeah, Peppa, what are you doing on my
Peppa,
laptop?
what are you doing in our live show? So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about first? Some of the updates?
Some updates. So,
you were busy.
Yeah, so last week,
Yeah, you were busy.
well, we didn't do a live show because I wasn't here.
No?
I was in Moses Lake for 2 weeks in Washington State.
Yeah, you were there for what, 8 days, 12 schools, and what, 21 sessions or something
Oh yeah, a lot of sessions.
like that? Yeah, and then I wasn't away for a full 2 weeks, but I was away for 1 week, came back for a weekend, and then was gone for another week. So I think it was 15 sessions that I did over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
a
you
number
went
of
to
schools that I
couple
went
places.
to, right? Like McGee Secondary, great group there. And then we were also down in the U.S. at a variety of different schools down in the U.S., a bunch of middle schools and some high schools down there. They loved every minute of it, and we loved every minute. You know, there's Vista down in the States again.
What is with that tent?
Well, let me share with you what was going on in that tent. When we saw that at the school, I thought, you know what, I'm going to climb into that thing, and then I was going to stick my head out with my hat on to get a picture of it. But then I realized if I tried to get into that thing, I think I probably would have split my pants, to be quite honest with you. And I don't know if I'd be able to get out. So, I mean, we just thought it would be a really good, so I said, okay, Beth, I can't fit. I'd try, but so let's just get a picture of me looking like I'm gonna climb into it. The teachers thought it was hilarious when they saw me trying to, because I actually did try to get into it.
I believe
I
you.
tried to get into it, but it was just a little too small. So, but anyways, I had a really good time down in the U.S. Down in Washington State, and unfortunately, we're supposed to be going there this week coming up, but as a result of the state of emergency because of the ongoing crisis that's going on, apparently I'm not allowed to use the word, right?
Oh yeah, YouTube suppresses certain words.
A specific virus. How's that?
I don't even know if that's allowed.
Oh.
I don't even know.
Okay.
The thing that's going on that apparently
Has the same name as a beer. The same name as a beer, right? It's yellow. It starts with a C.
I wonder
Anyways,
how their stocks.
apparently YouTube right now is filtering out anything to anybody who's using that name. But we were down there when it started to have the outbreak and stuff. So interesting times. But because the state has now declared a state of emergency, the school that we were supposed to going to on Wednesday has canceled all events, where any place where there's a large gathering of students, that includes sports events, our presentation, the whole. They're trying to create a social separation right now,
Right.
because they can't contain it. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
I mean, but so they're trying to minimize, right? So, and I totally get it, totally to be expected, and it's definitely the right thing to do. And I think we're going to see that happening. More schools. We'll talk more about that. So what's next?
Well, let's talk about the news recently.
In the news.
A lot of interesting news stories this week. Nothing necessarily new in terms of tech products. What we're going to talk about is kind of how recent events have kind of really impacted how we use technology here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think we're also going to talk about how people are kind of overreacting and probably being
Exploiting.
somewhat of a predation exploitation of this to try and make money on it, right? So we're going to talk about some of those things.
So let's get straight into it.
I mean, a part of what we do is education, and we're going to base our education on science, not fear.
Yeah.
Let's base what we're doing on science, not fear, right?
Well, there's a couple people and companies who are doing a really good job over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Interesting messaging from Rob here, who is the Trust and Integrity Team Lead, Facebook.
Yeah.
So they manage corporation ads, and what they stated March 6th, so just the other day, were basically Facebook and Instagram is planning on basically banning ads dealing with facial masks and that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what was going on, right? And we're going to talk about other sites, right, where these people, total predation going on right now, right, where people are trying to take advantage of this thing because a lot of these resources are becoming scarce because people are panic buying. Again, we'll talk about that. And so now they're selling things online at 100% markup price, right?
eBay's taking steps as well. Look at that.
It's just ridiculous, right?
eBay just made an announcement on
so they
6
should.
as well. masks, sanitizers, gels, and disinfectant wipes. They are basically suppressing and banning those type of ads.
And so they should. I mean, I was going on there and just looking to see what was going on. It was amazing. People selling one pump of some of the hand sanitizer for like $80. And when they're on the shelves, you can pick them up for like $5. It's ridiculous how these people are trying to financially benefit off of a crisis like this. Like, where's the moral compass? Right? Like, it's just unbelievable, right? And speaking of moral compasses,
here's an example. So,
happening in our city.
The studio here is in Langford, British Columbia, and we have a Costco maybe about 8 minutes that way.
Yeah, if that.
If that, traffic dependent.
Yeah.
And there's this concern about toilet paper right now.
There is, and I think that concern raises out of the fact that a lot of the toilet paper that comes into our country comes from China, and because what's going on in China,
there's a from us.
Yeah, there's a concern. Yeah, that's true. We sell all the lumber, and then they make stuff out of it, and then they sell it back to us at an increased profit. Go figure. Anyways, there's a real fear that the supply of toilet paper coming into North America is going to be directly affected. So people are out there panic buying. I mean, I was at Costco yesterday and just doing some regular shopping, and their supply of toilet paper that they had fresh that day, it was gone in an hour. An hour it was gone. And then we went down because usually we go to Costco to buy some bulk stuff,
right,
and then we go down to Save On Foods to buy some of the other stuff that Costco doesn't have. And when we were in there, they still had toilet paper and hand sanitizer, but a couple of the people who know us quite well there said, you know what, this stuff, within a couple hours, it'll be gone. It'll be gone. Like, it's unbelievable right now, right?
Interesting.
With how this thing that we're not supposed to say, corona and virus,
great. You
place,
just picked it up and we just got suppressed.
is now causing this. Again, if you just listen to what the experts are saying, the doctors, which is wash your hands, right? Good 30 minutes of washing your hands with some good soap. Don't touch your face. I mean, a big thing for me was when we were just down in the States and in Canada over the past 2 weeks, it's still amazing to see how many people would put their hand out to shake my hand, and I would, CDC, and I put out my elbow, right? I called it CDC elbow, because that's what they're recommending, right? Rather than shaking hands, touch elbows as a way to do things, right? And so, again, if you look at what the doctors are saying right now about this, it's I think personally it's reached pandemic levels, and there's doctors that agree with that. But just because it's a pandemic doesn't mean that it's like the zombie apocalypse, right? Like and so the people who appear to be at most risk are seniors, right? If you look at what's happening in Washington State, all the deaths in the United States, most of those deaths are taking place within a seniors care home, and people who have autoimmune suppression issues, right? Those yep. And what's really interesting, what the doctors are talking about right now, is that it seems like kids, younger people, they're still getting the virus, but the type of negative effects from it, they don't seem to be happening as greatly with young kids, right? So again, I think people are thinking it's like the zombie apocalypse, where all of a sudden I go, I bite ya, and then all of a sudden you're ending up as a freaking zombie and stuff. So anyways, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. But back on the topic.
Hey Rose, congratulations on buying your first car. Awesome.
Yeah, Rose,
Midnight
good
Magic,
job.
Thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you. You were at, where's it, Vista Middle School?
Fantastic. Yeah, we were just down there. Yeah, we were just down there. Yeah. So, but what's going on with regards to this?
All right, so
this guy here in our city.
All right, so back on topic, where of how these events have impacted the technology. Here's someone locally in Victoria, Langford, where we live, basically who bought a boatload of Kirkland Costco toilet paper, stocked it up, and now they're selling it at a premium of $50 per pack.
This guy ticks me off, right? Like, where's your moral compass, right? When you're thinking about people who probably do need to stock up, unless like seniors. Yeah, they're trying to go out and buy this stuff, and then creeps like this guy, because that's what he is. He's a predatory creep, is going in and buying these things in mega amounts, and then loading up these pallets, and then he's selling them at $50 a
What's
pop.
Canada's laws on price gouging?
Oh, you know what though? This guy is selling this stuff in Langford. So because he's selling it, even though he's doing it on eBay, he's selling it. So he's
Craigslist.
kind of creating his own business.
Craigslist.
Or Craigslist.
Which
so
is harder to
I'm
deal
actually
with.
going to report this guy to Langford bylaw.
Ooh.
Oh, I am. I'm going to report this guy to Langford. Guys like this tick me off. Now, there's some people are going to say, oh, he's just being an entrepreneur. Whatever. He's being a predatory entrepreneur. And this individual should be dealt with accordingly. I hope people don't buy anything from him. I hope when this thing blows over, because eventually it will, right, from proper care and stuff, that this guy is stuck with 1,000 packages of this stuff that he can't offload, excuse the pun, right? Like, I am heated. I am heated over this guy because this is absolutely wrong, in just wrong that he's doing that. And I'm going to be following up with an email to Langford bylaw as soon as we're finished this show.
Oh yeah.
And you know what's even better? It looks like we got his geolocation. Right, because it's kind of, I don't know if that's where he is, but we'll be looking into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
might
look
be.
at that, up in the right there.
That actually is their address?
I think it might be. So, anyways, we'll follow up. But oh my God, these predators. That's what they are. They're just predator. When we think you can tell I'm a little reach, right?
A little bit.
Like,
oh boy.
When we think predators, we think sexual predators. Oh, this guy is a predator, and he is preying upon this issue and blowing it out, and just Anyways, next topic. Let's get off of this guy.
Well, thankfully, some online marketplaces are taking action. Craigslist has always been a bit of a interesting marketplace in the past couple years. But places like Amazon, Amazon is prosecuting sellers who are price gouging on their platform. So thankfully, yes.
Tip of my white hat to Amazon, right?
Yes.
Tip of my white hat for doing that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, that's kind of a cool thing.
So I have a note here from this article. The author was searching on Amazon that day, and they found a 4-pack of Purell hand sanitizer gels for selling for $2.19 a box.
Ridiculous.
Of 12 was packed at $2.15.
You know what?
Boy.
And for people who stay at home, I mean, washing of your hands with good soap is all the doctors are telling us will be good enough as long as you do it for 20 to 30 seconds under warm water and that great pat dry. But for people like us who travel, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I got some wipes that we bought for our hands. I gave some to Candace, I gave some to you. So a good example because most gas stations now are self-service gas stations.
Yes.
And so when you pick up those pumps, I mean, everybody's grabbing those things, right? So after you're doing that, you just wipe yourself down.
General
It is.
hygiene.
It's general hygiene stuff, right?
Not just like now, but it's like throughout the entire year.
Exactly. So, but it's not as if we have soap and water in the car where we can use this soap and water, right? So we've got these specific wipes that are designed for antibacterial, right? I mean, that's just common sense. And I mean, it is kind of cool to see. I've never seen as many men in the men's washroom washing their hands as I have today. Like, I'm just being honest, right? At least that message is getting around, right? So let's just be honest, right? So what else we got going on here?
Jeez.
I know.
Welcome back, like a Potterhead.
Yeah. Hey, Midnight Magic. Me and my friends cried at the assembly. Oh, yeah. You know what? When we talk about, especially when we get to the cyberbullying side of things, I mean, we show a couple of videos that are quite sad. But what it does is it shows what empathy feels like, right? And so crying lets us know we're still human, and I think we need more empathy in this world, right? For sure. So, Midnight Magic, happy that you enjoyed it, and because you guys got a little emotional, that tells me you still have empathy, and good on you guys, right? Because it's all about having more empathy in this world. So, what else we got going?
Interesting.
Because of this pandemic.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah!
story.
Don't forget, people who are watching this video. Make sure you like it, all right? Hit that like button, right? Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to our what's it called? Not a station.
YouTube channel?
That's it.
Our station?
Okay.
What
are you going to call me? Okay.
Okay, boomer.
Thank you. Okay. WKRP in Cincinnati. Does anybody remember that show? I bet you some of the boomers that are watching this right now remember that show. Les Nessman.
Subscribe to our station.
Anyways, so what else we got going?
I feel that should be a thing now.
Yeah, I know. WKRP
interesting
in
story.
Cincinnati.
Coming from Iran. I mean, interesting if this is actually true or not, but apparently the Iran's information communications technology minister person
Yep.
said that because the internet there is apparently all state-run.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're giving citizens 100 gigabytes of free internet data during this.
Well, Iran is one of the hardest hit countries, as we know, in the
Yes.
world, right? Them, Spain, and China, Italy as well, right? So are some of the more countries, and so they're really kind of pushing stay at home, stay at home, stay at home.
But it's just interesting how they're like, in order to incentivize that, they're giving 100 gigabytes of free data.
Yeah, but
What is happening here in Canada?
don't we have some of the highest?
We have the highest data rates in like the modern world.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
And you know, although it's free in Iran, you gotta know it's being monitored by the state.
it's a state-run internet, so I mean, like obviously, but come on, you get 100 gigabytes for free.
I mean, it's good for them. I mean, they're trying to help their people out. Again, they're trying to. Containment is no longer there in most countries, right? So now they're just trying to control the spread of it. And so one of the ways countries are doing that, even Canada and the U.S. are saying, hey, listen, if you're sick, don't go to work, right? Stay at home. The incubation rate right now, they figure, is between 14 to 16 days, according to the newest research I just heard today.
And what does that mean?
That just means that it takes 14 days before you could start to exhibit some of the signs of it. And some of the symptoms of this new virus is atypical. So you may not show severe signs, but the incubation rate is about 14 days. Usually after 14 to 16 days, the virus has been dealt with and it's out. At least that's what they believe. They're still working on data, right? So that's why the cruise ship in the United States, good example, the latest one, it's docking, and now that they're docking, they're going to be taking them to certain sites in the United States, to American bases, where they're going to be contained on those sites for 14 to 16 days, right? And then after 16 days, they will probably be released back into the communities, right? But it's all about being able to have this social separation. So with that, staying at home anyways, staying at home and doing work if you're feeling sick is cool, and one of the ways to do that is to use the internet. Now, another concern, like the schools in Washington State that are shutting down right now, they're talking about doing some of the educating online using, e-learning and stuff. But my concern I have with that is, what about the kids and the families who don't have internet or Wi-Fi connection at home, right? Now they fall behind because of usually socioeconomic issues, right? So, where's the equity there, right? And stuff. So it's very interesting how this what's going on is shedding and shining a light on other issues that I think we as a society need to get our head around, because guess what? When this one passes, and it will pass, there'll be another one. Right? And so we need to learn from our lessons of things that went wrong and things we didn't do really well, and make sure that next time it happens that we're just a little better at it.
Sure.
What's the next thing we got?
Different topic. Jif Peanut Butter.
Is it Jif or GIF?
Well, they have sparked up the controversy once again.
This is kind of like the baby Planters peanut.
It's another marketing thing. But basically, Jif Peanut Butter has done a marketing strategy where basically specially marked jars of Jif Peanut Butter are spelled either with a G or a J in order to spark the controversy. Are those moving pictures that you find on the internet, are they called GIFs or are they called GIFs?
They're called GIFs. Right, because it stands for what's the word there? You got a graphic
interchange format.
Right.
That's what it stands for.
It's not GIFographic, it's graphic, right? Now, Candace just say, do you say giraffe or giraffe? Whatever. She's laughing in my ear right now. But do you actually think people, when they see that, I think the way the subconscious mind is going to read, they're not even going to see the G or the J. They're just going to see it as
I just see the colors.
That's right. That's all they're going to do, right?
Not sponsored, but I buy Jif.
It is kind of cool, the marketing that they did on this, right? Right? No doubt. I mean, it's kind of cool how they've done that, but it's definitely GIF. It is GIF.
Hey, Jif, you want to sponsor us? Sure. Send us some peanut butter.
Send us, hey, and you know what? We can do. It's like a like the Coke versus Pepsi thing, right? Jif versus GIF, and then we can do a thing right here on our show, and then we'll get a feedback, right? And we'll send it to them. Yeah, send us. Hey, who makes that?
GIF?
Who owns
it?
Yeah, who owns it?
Candace is going to Google that.
Candace is going to Google it. We should send him a message. Hey, check out our show because we just brought this up.
Check out a small YouTube show.
Send us a couple. Send us to him. We'll do a thing here on.
Candace said Smuckers.
Smuckers. Send us those two, and we'll do it live here.
Come on, make us true YouTubers.
Yeah,
send us peanut butter.
Just one jar, not one not one container. Like we don't need 50,000 things of peanut butter. All right. Although.
Life of Potterhead. Get on that.
Doesn't deer? Yeah, Life of Potterhead. Get a whole. Hey, do deer eat peanut butter? Candace. Well, yeah. Then we can feed it to the deer. You can see the deer. We'll ask the deer. Do you think it's Jif or Gif? Just say. What else we got going on?
Life Potterhead says, okay.
Is that what they just said?
Yeah.
Thank you, Life of Potterhead. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Baby Yoda's back in the news.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, so Hasbro has now built a Baby Yoda animatronic.
Candace is going,
and it's $60.
I need it. Who do you think would win in a fight? Baby Yoda or Baby Planter Peanut?
Yoda, obviously.
What about Baby Yoda and Baby Groot?
Yoda.
You sure?
Yoda's the fourth.
Yeah, but Groot. Groot. Just saying. I mean,
right.
Candace is
Midnight Magic says Baby Yoda.
Yoda, but Candace is saying, I need it. I need it.
She says she wants to put it on the set, like right there. Put a Baby Yoda animatronic on the set.
Okay, that would be cool. How much are they?
$60 American, I think.
Who's going to pay for it?
Well, the White Hatter will pay for it.
No, the White Hatter ain't going to pay for it. I think Candace should pay for it out of her allowance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Beth, now that you said the White Hatter is going to pay, Mom's watching this right now and going, no, they're not. Beth is the bank. Love you. What else we got going?
All right.
What's this?
All right, GoodRx. This is a company that helps purchase U.S. drugs for American customers for cheap. And apparently, it was selling consumer data, such as what drugs people were buying, to advertisers.
Oh my God.
And they were found out. And they said, oops. Sorry.
God. Did they get fined?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Just unbelievable.
But that being said, if you download the app and then you agree to the terms, and the terms say your data is sent to these companies.
And I'm seeing this quite a bit now on TV, right? On places for advertisements saying, you know what, get your drugs, buy your drugs online. You know, these drug packages now where they pre-package all these drugs for you. I've always been really, really, really concerned about doing that online for this very reason, right? I would rather, because the medications that we take for our health issues are private between you and your doctor, right? And so I've been always really concerned that when you're purchasing this stuff online, what are they doing with that information? You hear a lot of them saying, oh, we don't sell it. Well, here's a really good example where that's going on. So I still think, unless you're in a remote community, right? Like if you're in a remote community and stuff,
makes sense.
Buying it online and having it delivered kind of makes sense. But in cities where you have pharmacies, I still think the better way to go is to go to your pharmacist, right? And order it from there. It's far safer and secure from your privacy standpoint. So just saying. I'm just saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Some good news.
I hope they get their blank, blank, blank sued. I'm not allowed to use language. Well, I guess I could, but they would probably pick it up, right? So,
Yeah.
no, they should get their blank, 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 blank
family-friendly show here.
Blank, 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 blank sued.
So people over the age of 13.
No,
Okay, YouTube? And
Yeah,
FTC?
that's right. Yeah. But, even if they're under the age of 13, they're here with their parents.
Hear the FTC?
Yeah. Just saying.
Good news.
I'm just looking forward to getting Jif and Gif peanut butter if they actually do send this up.
All right.
That would be pretty funny, actually. Oh, what's
Good
this
news,
one? This is right up
for
your alley.
consumers. Gaming's awesome.
Don't we have an old gaming box back here somewhere? Didn't you put one up?
We have a GameCube.
Oh, GameCube, right there.
Yep. And NES should be on here soon.
Yeah.
So for gamers, the new Xbox Series X and PS5, apparently, according to a game developer company, Ubisoft, which is pretty big, says a lot of old games should be playable on the new systems, which is kind of cool for people who are used to older games.
Brandon, don't move. There's a cat over your left shoulder about to pounce on you. Look at that thing, man. Where did that come from? Oh, look, it's chasing a mouse. That's pretty funny.
That is an old poster.
I know.
That
it's
is a
pretty
poster
funny.
you would find in like an elementary school.
It looks
in,
like
early
look at
2000s.
that. It looks like a real cat coming out of the screen.
Candace says it was 25 cents.
I know,
in
she
a
found that,
store.
right? So a lot of stuff that she finds on this stuff, she finds in a thrift
Midnight
store.
Magic. Can I have the cat?
Anyway, sorry. I just thought I had it in there, but. Oh, what's this one?
Oh, so
This is interesting.
some security researchers have determined some ways, a very complex way of cloning key car fobs for some Toyota, Hyundai, and Kia vehicles.
Yeah.
So basically, clone a key fob, open a door, get in the car, engine, drive away.
You know what, though? This is nothing new. I mean,
No.
we've known for a while now that these criminals, a couple ways they're doing it. You can buy these RFID antennas now that you can hold in your hand. You hook it up to some software, and you'll see there's several videos. We couldn't figure out how this was going on, where these criminals were going up to houses and putting these antennas close to the houses. And the reason they were doing that was because a lot of people, when they park their cars in the garage or at home, they keep their car keys really close to the doors in the garages. Right. And those car keys have RFIDs on them, right? So they were going in and they were picking up the RFID, getting the code, and then using them to get into cars. We also know that there was another group of criminals, both in Canada, United States, and Great Britain, that were they were going into parking lots at malls. And they were waiting for people to get out of their cars and lock their car by hitting the button to lock it. And as soon as they hit the button, it sends out basically a radio message. And they were intercepting that, cloning it, and then using it to pop trunks and stuff in the parking lots, right? I mean, so it doesn't surprise me. I mean, with convenience comes vulnerabilities, right? And I mean, there's no doubt that remotely accessing your car, remotely starting up your car, especially on cold days. That's what I love about our car, right? We can remotely start it and warm it up. There's no doubt it's convenient, but with convenience comes vulnerability, and those are things. But you were saying it's not really easy to do.
That was a very complex hack, but I mean, like, you're not going to see it in the wild very often.
Right.
But I mean, it's out there.
Right, for sure.
Hey, let's talk about some cool tech projects.
Yeah.
We have a very interesting tech project to talk about.
Yeah.
Darren, you went
That's me. I'm Darren.
Yes.
You're Brandon, I'm Darren.
You went to a
I'm the boomer, you're the millennial. I'm handsome.
I'm hot.
Oh, Candace is going, yes, he is.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyways.
No response.
Yeah, I know. Candace, are you still there? Yeah, whatever. Here we go.
You went to a robotics competition here in Victoria.
I did. It was the Pacific competition where teams from Alberta, BC, and there were even a couple of teams from Alberta, high school teens, who developed robots for these robotic competitions. And
like BattleBots?
Yeah, like BattleBots. And it took place here in Victoria over the past 4 days actually, ended yesterday. And I decided to go yesterday just to show my support as a boomer, to support what these kids are doing. You know, we hear all this stuff. There are some people out there that just say this generation of boomers is absolutely, they're lost, right? That this technology is going to ruin their lives into adulthood and that kind of stuff. Well, you know what? Some of those adults who think that need to go to competitions like this. I mean, what these kids were doing, I think we have a video, right? Have a video? Let's show the video. Let's show the video here. Let's show this quick video.
In right field, so they go scoop up some more of those leftover power cells, trying to clean up the floor around their immediate scoring area. Let's see what Carson Graham has to say about that. Push them right back into the wall, and then they'll back off.
Watching what they're doing, right? I mean, it's so cool to see how these teams of 7 to 8 teens, and you know what was even more cool was to see how many young women were involved on these teams, right? Like when you think of tech, a lot of people think it's mostly a male-dominated industry, but it was so cool to see how many young women were involved on these robotics teams from the schools. And we had schools there from, here's one from Belmont, right? Here locally, Belmont School. Then we had another one from, I think they were from LA Matheson. But look at the technology going into these things, right? So we have coding, we have robotics, we have engineering. I mean, it's just unbelievable to see the ingenuity and the creativity that went into developing these competitive robots to compete in these teams. Just so cool. And you know, I was really happy that I could attend as a white hatter, the kind of flashing. A couple of kids actually recognized me from semi-ammo. They went, "Hey, you're the white hatter." I said, "Yeah, I am," right? And I said, you know, we're just here to support what it is you're doing. And it was so cool to see. And you know what was even more cool in the audience? I would say, you know, you would think at an event like this that would be mostly high school kids and stuff. No, the audience people there were mostly my age. It was really kind of cool.
Probably because people your age remember BattleBots, and they were like, "I want to see this
maybe.
in real life."
And I thought maybe a lot of them would have been their parents. They weren't. They would just be. It was a free event hosted at the Save on Foods Memorial Arena, a big arena here in Victoria, and it was free to the general public. And not only did they have a BattleBots, but they actually had a Lego competition there too.
Oh, really?
It was over, so I couldn't get any pictures. But it was kids building these things out of Legos. It was like unbelievable as well. So, but yeah, no, I just thought. You know, it's too bad that there's still adults out there that believe that this generation are wasting their time on technology and social media and coding and that kind of stuff, when this is the future. You know, these kids that were building these robots, they're going to be the people that are going to be developing all this new technology that we can't even think about today to help us in the future. So, for sure.
Yeah. The Life of Potterhead, working on the suggestion to the company of Jif right now. I will send it to the company of Jif, and I will tell you next show.
Make sure you send them a link to this. Make sure you send them a link to this YouTube video so they can see how we.
I mean, I don't think we're that big of YouTubers yet. Could you imagine if we grow this channel to the degree that we can actually do that stuff?
Oh, it'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
It'd be kind of cool, right? It'd be kind of cool. Hey, there's this knight behind us. Look at that, right?
This.
Wow. Like
that's from Amy Alligator.
From Amy Alligator, right? Yeah, she gave it to us. That's pretty cool. Usually we don't see it. But yeah, Black Market TP, we talked about that. So there's Peppa. Look at Trolga. She's kind of peeking out from behind the marquee there.
Oh, yeah, there's Troll right there. Troll was there to show. Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. When's our next show?
Next show is on the 14th. It will be a live show. I think the show after that won't be live because I'm not here again.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a recorded show?
We'll figure something out to do for that, but we'll get around to it when we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, on that note, thank you everyone. We will see you on the next White Hatter live show. Maybe there'll be peanut butter, maybe there won't be.
And for the guy in Langford who's doing this predatory marketing, we're coming for you, right? Like, that's just wrong what it is that you're doing, and we're going to be reporting it to the appropriate authorities to see if they can take action on that. So it just really torques me, because like I said, when I was at Costco, I saw a number of seniors there going to get toilet paper because they needed it and they couldn't find any. Like, that's just wrong, right? That's just wrong. And so, anyways.
Alrighty.
You can see I'm so low heated over there.
Well, Darren has some work to do. I have some things to do for tech. So on that note, thank everyone, and
White Hatter team!
We'll see you on the next show. Bye,
see you
everyone.
later. Bye.